Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how no one is safe. No one is safe, you know what I mean? And what I mean by no one is safe, I mean no one is safe from these attacks, from these witchy ass spells, you know what I'm saying? From dealing with this witchy demonic system that we have to deal with, that's done corrupted the ones around us as well, to the point to where they're operating and helping and assisting them. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by today is saying like no one is safe, I just mean like it doesn't matter what level you are on, you are going to have to deal with this witchy shit out here. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to deal with the manipulation. You're gonna have to deal with the ill intentions. You're gonna have to deal with the gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? It's from me just even processing from when I was young to now. It's like, even if I think about it then, I wasn't safe then. I was just at a different place in my journey, so I just didn't process things with as much emphasis as I do on it now. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if you get into one fight when you're 4 years old and then you don't get into another fight till you're like 6 or 7. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you slowly are starting to prepare yourself for what to expect when you are around and engaging with beings and the energy is shifting and it's not moving in the healthiest, highest frequency that it could be moving towards. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you know what it means when you get friction. You know what I'm saying? When you feeling that weird, confusing, chaotic energy in the middle. You know what I mean? And I know it's a lot of information out here about as far as like what's going on with the demons and the witches, warlords, you know, the sheep, like the enlightened ones, you know, the light carrier ones. Like, it's the thing with that is when you're in the Western world is it's all jumbled in together. So you can be moving towards your highest frequency, right? Just vibrating as high as you possibly can vibrate in the space that you're in. But what's gonna happen is, even with you vibing up there, and I say out there because the frequencies is they way out there and way up there, you know what I'm saying? But with you vibing out there, you're gonna run into a lot of like meteors. I call these witchy motherfuckers when you just vibing in your own space and you just get hit with a meteor. See, they want us thinking that a meteor is something that's gonna come falling out the sky and fuck everybody up. But what about the little meteor rocks and you know, things that come falling from inner space? I'm not talking about outer space. This right here is outer space. I don't believe we went up there in outer space, you know, to their outer space. That was another manipulation tactic to get you focused on not the inner self. You know what I mean? So you have to process and remember, like, there's teachers and there's beings on all levels, and we all have to deal with this witchy shit. You know, some of us feel like, okay, well, if you get to a certain place, then you won't have to deal with it anymore. No, when you're in the Western world, you're still gonna have to deal with it. You just know how to manage it better. You're still gonna have to deal with it. You just know how to manage it better. So that's like the hugest key thing out here. It's like none of us is safe. You know, you always have to be on your toes. You always have to be on point. You know what I'm saying? Especially understanding it's a war, because the enemy is always looking to manipulate you and to drag you down and to destroy you. So the best way to do it is somebody smiling and being nice in your face. You know, if somebody's frowning and being angry and giving you fuck you energy, they're not going to be able to get that close to you. So the eviler they are, meaning they have to be more sneakier, more manipulative, more deceptive. You know, they have to take on all these evil traits in order to be a being that get close to you, just to kind of destroy you and to create all these weird ass witchy vibrational situations. You know what I mean? So when you out here moving around, you know, and you feeling good and you vibing up there, just understand that it's not always you that's bringing that energy to yourself. It's a war out here. Like, if I'm standing right here and let's say a squirrel just start jumping across in front of me, that squirrel was already doing something before I was right here. It was just passing through. You know, we're both out here in outer space, and that energy was passing through when I was right here. It wasn't doing nothing intentionally to me, you know, but that energy still can't affect me with it passing that way, or it could have came down and just bumped into me. You know what I'm saying? Just ran into my feet. I don't want squirrels running all over my toes and shit. I'd be like, ah. And you're not even fast enough to run for it, so you're just gonna have to take the squirrel running over your toes. You know what I'm saying? That's not your fault. If you want to blame yourself, because I believe everything is on a percentage scale. If you want to blame yourself, okay, well, it's my fault 95%, because the other 5% I could have kept my ass inside, or I couldn't have been in the backyard or over that space, wherever it was at, where the squirrel ran over your feet. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean by, as far as like, we have to be safe and to understand like that no one is safe. You're working as hard as you can to kind of keep you and yours protected. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guiding in the right direction. Make sure you learning and paying attention to the tests and the quizzes that's popping up in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because we constantly getting tests. The tests you usually have time to prepare for, but pop quizzes, you don't have time to prepare for those. And usually they have to hit you in an emotional state. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's a pop quiz. You don't know about it. It's just here. So you have to be aware, and you have to be alert and aligned. So that's why I feel like nobody is safe. No one is safe. Like, we got the little ones, the little humans who are constantly being manipulated by the system, and then you have their renters, you know, who are not really focusing their energy towards them the way that they should be, you know. If you fucked up, you fucked up. It's not on you no more. It's time to focus on the next generation, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the emphasis I have to put on myself too as well, you know. And once you get to a place of understanding, okay, like, think of it like Westerns. Like, I know that's just an ideology that somebody painted for us. We don't even know if that's how the shit really was, right? But let's just say it was like the Westerns. Nobody was in fear of guns during that time. If you watch the movies, nobody was in fear. You know, whether they just painted that for us or not, it doesn't really matter. I'm just using it as an example. You know, nobody was in fear of guns at that time. They kept it on them for protection. You know, some of them could fight, but if they ran across somebody who had a weapon, like a gun, then they can fight back evenly. It would be an even fight, because now he has the, or she has the opportunity to use their exact same weapon. It's kind of like when you got two swords. Before the guns, it was swords, you know. People walked around with their swords. You could still see in some of the far out countries, you know, where they're not westernized, where they walk around with their machetes, you know what I'm saying? Their machetes are their swords. Now, whether they're going out harming people or not, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about how they carry a tool that could be used as a weapon. We have this knowledge in here. This is a tool. You can use it as a weapon. You got this throat chakra right here. It's a tool. You can use it as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? But when you out here and you put clothes on, so you're in this physical realm as well too. You want to keep yourself physically safe as well too. You know what I'm saying? So just understanding, like, you can do all the healing work and all the spiritual background work, as far as like the inner child that they like to mention, and like all these other things, the kind of affirmations and all these other things, right? But you're still on the battlefield. So it's cool that you could walk around clapping and patting yourself on the back, you know, but you have to be able to do that as well too when you walk out your house and the opposition tries to attack you. You have to be able to direct that energy back to them, or transmute it into a different space, and be able to not send that energy to the others around you. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to affect other beings with our vibrations when it's not in the healthiest manner. We know if we're using our tools to harm somebody, if we're using them to help and heal somebody. We know. You know what I mean? So even the people with the biggest bag, you already know that they are not safe. You know, we are not safe. So long as you understand and keep your guard up and realize you're not safe. You know what I'm saying? It's spiritual gang stalking going out here. It's organized gang stalking going on out here. You know what I'm saying? I was just riding back out to the spot earlier with the Mini just a little while ago, and a car tried to run me off the road. And it was crazy because it was traffic in both lanes. The right lane was extremely slow, and the left lane was slower than the fuck it was supposed to be. So when I'm in the left lane, I'm not thinking about, this individual is doing witchy shit. I'm not processing it like that. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going from point A to point B. What's my fastest route to get there? Okay, if a car is in the way, I look at it like a speed bump. I don't take it personal. I just try to get around it. And in some of their witchy ass minds, they get offended by that, as if we're supposed to ride behind them at their speed. Fuck you and your speed. That's how I feel. And then I go around. Now, if you feel offended because I went around you, then you take the actions you choose to proceed to take. You know what I mean? And that's what happened earlier when somebody tried to push me off the road in front of all the traffic too, which was crazy. It was so much traffic out there, and literally thought he was gonna speed in front of me and then cut me off, and I was just gonna slow down. He was getting in front of me. No, because what I do when I get tested like that or pop quizzes like that, I show that I believe in the Creator. I hit the gas and I only veered a little bit to the left to go over the bumpity bumps before I went in the middle thing, you know what I'm saying, and held the horn. And I did not move, besides that little budge over to where the cars didn't hit, but I didn't slow down, so eventually he veered back over into the right lane and didn't come all the way into the left lane, and slowed all the way down because he looked stupid in front of all that traffic trying to fucking ram me. All because it's just some regular day in the gang stalking life, you know. I'm going from point A to point B. I'm not concerned with the people in the middle. I don't have no way to feel like offended by you, or like I need to defend myself. If I see a car up the road, I'm just thinking I want to go around so I can keep going at my speed. That's it. I'm not thinking, oh, fuck this person, I want to do this to that person, I want to do this to that person because they're in the way and in my lanes. No. It's not that serious. But it is to them. So when they start doing shit like trying to ram you off the fucking road, or you got people just doing witchy shit to your kids or around your kids, or just doing witchy shit to you and yours and your family and shit, you know what I'm saying? You just have to understand that we are not safe. None of us are. I don't care what level you at. So do what you have to do to keep yourself armored up and protected out here, spiritually and physically, you know? Because spiritually for me is mentally. So I don't like to say spiritually, mentally, physically. I just say spiritually and physically, because spiritually that all goes into one lump sum, and then physically that all goes into one lump sum. Just make it easier on yourself, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run it up too long, you know what I'm saying? None of us is safe. I don't care what level you at. I don't care if you got 1 million subscribers or 2 subscribers. I don't care if you got 1 million followers or 10 followers. You know what I'm saying? None of us are safe. Keep yourself armored up and protected out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.